Becky, you like your new page?
I do. Hey, since the auto companies first asked for a bailout, they have been watched like hawks. Every week we hear about new sales incentives to motivate car buyers or a new business plan to help the big three get back on their feet. However, it's not just the big three that are feeling the pinch. Overseas companies like Toyota closing plants next month and in March for almost 2 weeks to bring down production. They're also scrapping plans to build new car models. Let's bring in Roehm. She's a former Chrysler executive and currently a marketing communications consultant. Welcome to Happy Hour, first timer.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so I have a lot of your talking points that you sent to us, and you say yes, of course, you know, cut production because they're basically making too many cars. You know, I say, why are they so against cutting production? They should severely cut production so this way they can jack up the prices of their cars. It's all supply demand.
It felt like, right? Econ 101, right?
Is it because the labor unions, they can't?
Yes. So there's, I mean, that's really the big issue. I remember being in meetings. I worked at Ford prior to Chrysler 10 years ago, and we were looking at the global capacity, and we knew we were out of whack, probably 2 times out of whack at that point in time.
And how many years ago was this?
This was probably 10 years ago.
10 years.
I mean, so it's not like this is something new. But what has happened is because the credit has been so good, we've used that credit advantage to artificially inflate the market. So these incentives that we've had going out there have gotten people to buy more and more. And in fact, it used to be that the average time people owned a car was like 7 years, and it's like half of that now. So what's happening is you're seeing these companies who built production to meet that artificially inflated number, and now they're sitting there with way too much production. They have these fixed assets that are costing them a lot of money every single day. And in the case of the unions, again, it's a complicated issue, but the fact is that there's a hefty chunk of those paychecks that go to those union workers every day that they don't work. And so the alternative is produce something, sell it at a deep discount, or produce nothing and pay people anyway. And the alternative has really been for them to
Let's talk about this for a second. They got $25 billion under the Bush administration. Pretty soon they're going to need more money, right? I mean, they can't turn their business model around in enough time before they blow through the 25B, right? At what point, you know, where are we? Are we talking March, April, May? How long will 25 last these 3 companies?
You know, I mean, right now, obviously, Ford has opted out of that, so you're really looking at GM and Chrysler. Chrysler has been reporting the worst numbers so far. GM, I have seen probably the most signs. Again, there's not a lot of communication coming, which I think is really what's at the root of a lot of people's angst about how this money is being spent. GM, though, has said that they're cutting production not only at plants, but on certain models, and I think that makes good sense. How long the money lasts? You know, it's anybody's guess.
What I think makes sense is to break the 3 companies into 30 companies and let them slug it out and compete. And then you'll have 5 or 6 that are actually successful and actually have the right amount of capacity and don't over-leverage themselves up at the top and actually save for a rain day. How about it?
Yeah, you know, it's an alternative. You know, but I'm not necessarily sure that all these companies have to be broken up into a lot of smaller companies. I mean, take a look at some of the small companies that are out there. It's a difficult place to be because of the cost of the parts themselves.
The big companies are finding it difficult too.
Well, they certainly are. It's not like there's an easy solution in this very mature market, to be sure. But I don't know that necessarily breaking them all up is the answer. I think that there are new practices that have to go into place. We certainly have to bring supply back in line with demand. Customers, I think, need to be part of this part. Right now, customers are like, you know, who wants to go buy one of the companies that may be going out of business? Nobody wants to do that. So, you know, I think tax credits have to be part of this new plan that you guys have been talking about.
More welfare for the rich.
No, I don't think it's
tax credit is welfare, girl. It is what it is. I don't have to fight Bill. Absolutely. The tax-free. Understand, I'm an internet business, and I do not want the tax-free internet because I don't want an unlevel playing field. Make it level, baby. All right, here we go. They're wrapping us. They're wrapping us. Julie.